So, for the past couple of days, I've come across a few videos, and I've watched and listened to these videos, and it it sparked me to create this video. It's not a response, it's not anything, it's just me weighing my thoughts on, I guess, the discussion that's going on right now. And it is this discussion of gaming dying of some sort, or AAA gaming is dying. Now, the video that I'm talking about is actually done by a YouTuber named The Synthetic Man, and to be honest with you, I actually enjoyed the video. He's coming from a place of great passion. He definitely likes the medium of gaming, and I can relate. The other video that I've seen is by someone named Drifter, where it's more specific. It's talking about AAA gaming is dying, and he dives into his thoughts of why he think it's dying, and both of these videos are really good. Obviously, the Synthetic Man's video is a year old, but I still watched it, I listened to it, and I can honestly say I get where both of these individuals are coming from. But there are some disagreements that I definitely do have with the thought process. And one of the things is, I don't necessarily think that gaming is dying, and I don't think AAA gaming is dying. Now, I think what they were diving into is the fact that AAA developers don't really take the time that they need to develop their games, which is understandable because they don't. They ship it out and then they patch it later, which I do understand. But people still buy these games, even when they're broken. That's just the reality of it. The other thing is that the reason why I don't necessarily think that gaming is dying is I think it's more or less the fact that it's not dying. It's more of you're not looking in the right place where you want, I would say, or you need to look elsewhere for your games, unfortunately. When you look at gaming now, and I always tell people, and I've said this before, because I was going through the exact same thing, is that you have to think like a corporate scumbag. Everyone knows, yes, this is a business. The goal is to make money. That is the goal. If you're saying, and I'm saying it from my perspective of how I was feeling before, if you have the thought that gaming is dying, you're getting old. I hate to admit that, but that's what it is. Games, when gaming starts to become something where you have to say something is dying, it's not that it's dying, it's just that it's dying to you. That's the harsh reality of it. You're getting older, and these games no longer cater to you. You have to look at it from a standpoint of the games that they make now are to grab younger kids. They're to grab teenagers. If you're in your late 20s and you're saying this, you're reaching that age where the games no longer cater to you. They cater to the crowd of the ones who are willing to buy skins, the ones who are willing to buy a digital only game, the ones who are willing to take the fact that they're getting a game broken on release and they have to wait for it to be patched later, but they're still willing to support said game and spend money on it. If you have an issue with this, you're too old. I hate to admit that. You're getting old, and it's because you want things the way that they used to be, and they're not. And I had to deal with this on my own basis. It's like I was even saying the same thing a couple of years ago. If you watch some of my older videos, I was saying I hate the way games are. I hate the way they're going. Why is everything like this? And then I noticed I kept complaining about certain things, and I was like, well, it's because they're not made for me. They're no longer made for me. If I want to play those games, I have to look back. And that's the harsh reality of it. You either look back or you look to another genre. If you're into shooters and you're into like like Call of Duty, classic, like Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 1, or World at War, if you're into, games like Tomba and PS1 titles, if you're into those things and you notice that you're not getting that, it's because they're no longer made for you. Those games aren't being made for you anymore. You already have those titles. You have to go get those games, you know. That's the thing. I had to deal with the fact that I had to come to terms with, I can either get with the times and adapt, or find a new hobby. That was the only thing. Because I can admit, in I would say the 7th generation, I was really into mainstream AAA titles, games like Infamous, Killzone, God of War, all those games I was into because they were something fresh, they were something new, and you know, they were new for that time. You know, games like Gears of War and such like that. I was playing all these games, and then as time went on, you notice that you're getting an oversaturation of said games, so you start to look elsewhere. And one of the places I started to look to was Japan, because I was always into JRPGs. I was always into first-person dungeon crawlers and all that stuff. So the harsh reality is you either have to look elsewhere, or you have to adapt, or you find a new hobby. That it sucks, but that's what it is. Because you as a gamer are getting older, so your time becomes finite, and you have to, as a corporate person, let's say if a corporate company needs to think of something, their ideal idea is that, well, that generation is now older, they don't have the time, so we have to cater to the younger demographic. Like if you have a younger brother, it's going to cater to him. That means if he wants the game, he's either going to ask his parents or he's going to ask you, can you get that game? And that game is for him. Those are the ones that they're now making games for. And I think that a lot of people now for this generation are starting to understand that, because now they're getting up in age. They notice they don't have the time to play these games, and they notice that a lot of these games are broken or things aren't the way they used to be. And that is a tough thing to I guess come to terms with. Like I said, I had to come to terms with it a couple of years ago. That's why I took some time off, because I was like, you know what, let me just play some games and get my head and get my head right, because a lot of the games that were coming out I wasn't really into. So I had to think of like where I'm gonna look for with the hobby that I enjoy, which is playing video games. And now I primarily I import most of my games now. I don't buy mainstream titles. I'm particularly a niche gamer now. I can admit that. Like most of my titles are JRPGs you never even heard of, or dungeon crawlers you never even heard of. Like half my my Switch collection is games that that a lot of people don't even know. The other day I had a friend come over, and he brought his cousin by. I've never met this person in my life, and he looks at my Switch collection, and the response that comes out of his mouth is, "Where are all the good games?" And I didn't know how to respond to that. And I was like, "What do you mean, where are all the good games? You're standing in front of a bunch of good ones right now." And his response was, "Where's the Super Smash? Where's the Mario? Where's the Yoshi? Where are those games?" And I was like, it's not that he was saying like these games are bad. He was saying, where's all the games that are mainstream? And that's the thing, is that he was a younger person, and you have to understand the games are no longer being made for us older folks. I can honestly say that. I'm sounding like a straight old person, like I'm 60, and I'm not. But that's the thing. If you're feeling like you think the industry is dying, it's not dying. It's dying for you. That's the harsh reality of it.